Mini episode 1204 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode 1204. This is FDH managing partner Rick Morris here with a segment like no other, and not in the good sense, an appraisal of where we're at in America with the coronavirus crisis. As has been noted previously, I'm not generally comfortable doing solo segments in the first person, and the FDH brand has never been about taking ourselves too seriously, but in times of crisis, sometimes you have to break out of your comfort zone, so I'm going to speak from the heart about this situation. For at least 10 days, we've been able to see the explosion of cases in Italy, which is arguably the first true test of how devastating the virus is, because Italy is a free society. It's been as devastating, or even more so maybe, in China and Iran, but we'll never know the true extent because of the secretive policies of the dictatorships involved. This plague is now enveloping Spain and France as well, and other countries very quickly. So we in America don't have the excuse that Italy did. There was no test case in a free society before Italy fell victim to the absolute collapse of their medical system. A collapse, by the way, that has left stroke victims, heart attack victims, cancer patients, and other critical health patients facing either death or a great worsening of their situations because coronavirus is consuming most resources. In short, the entire country is a war zone in terms of the health system from top to bottom, with the dead going far beyond even the victims of the virus. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid here. As such, it's been very disappointing to me personally, the degree to which we as a people have failed to meet this moment. I live in Ohio, where our governor, of whom I've admittedly never been a fan, has become a true national leader in terms of moving us towards safety. It was the noises that he made about shutting down sporting events that got the conversation rolling to where all sports leagues ended up shutting down remarkably quickly. Side note on that, although I, like everyone else, was incensed by Rudy Gobert's stupidity in putting other people at risk for coronavirus, in the end he will have saved far more lives than he ever threatened, because it's clear that his infection was key towards shutting down every league in America, and in turn those shutdowns set the stage for other measures to enforce the social distancing that we need. So I live in a state that has taken this outbreak more seriously than most, and yet I've seen irresponsible behavior from those close to me in terms of risking spreading the disease, and irresponsible rhetoric from some close to me in terms of propagating this crap that it's no worse than the flu, and that it's all a media creation. And social media has provided me with countless examples of what I've seen with my own two eyes personally. I've mentioned this on the show before. Outside of national emergencies like this one, I'm a small government guy. I'm proud that I took this seriously and got ready well before any government told me to do so. But somewhere along the way, we as a society may have lost the right to remain a free people because we apparently don't use our common sense to avoid potentially dangerous situations unless the government nails a door shut and tells us not to go in. I know that people want to go where they want to go, which leads to them endangering those around them at a time like this. I know that people want to cram every situation into their own preconceived political boxes, which leads to them perpetrating the dangerous and irresponsible hoax that this situation itself is a hoax. I admit to believing in a few conspiracies myself, but when every public health expert in the world is shrieking that we are headed for the complete meltdown that Italy is in, it's inexcusable to keep trolling with stupid and irresponsible arguments. That's the question I'd like to pose to everyone involved, knowing the historical moment that we're in. Whether from the reality of the virus or the so-called panic that the deniers like to cite, it's definitely a historical moment, and people are going to look back in time. They're going to remember what you said to them, where you went, what you did, what you posted on social media. So my question is this: are you prepared to live with the consequences of your decisions? It is undeniable that a great many will die. It's too soon to say if it will be short of a complete disaster, but it will be brutal. For those who are vulnerable right now because they are elderly, or have immune system issues, or work in the medical fields. Those are the most likely to die from this. Are you prepared to look their family and friends, who may also be your family and friends, in the eye when your actions at this moment are endangering them? Is what you're doing right now worth the risk if you're wrong? I'm not oblivious to those currently out of work right now. My heart goes out to them, and I support all governmental efforts to lessen the sacrifice that they are making for the greater good, even as I fear that running the currency printing presses like we're doing could lead to milk prices of $50 a gallon by Christmas. But again, I'm putting my public policy ideas aside to support these relief efforts. We can only worry about one crisis at a time. In short, on a scale last seen in this country during World War II, we are all in this together. Efforts made to flatten the curve of the outbreak will save countless lives if successful. Nothing at this moment is more important than saving those lives. Nothing is even close, for that matter. My last note is that this is but the first part of our FDH Coronavirus Crisis 2020 series. During this crisis, we'll be trying to help you get through it with analysis of different aspects of the situation, and also with some escapist ideas for those on lockdown, such as providing streaming recommendations. As of right now, outside of our NFL draft/free agency coverage and ongoing TV show previews, the plan is for just about all of our programming to either be directly related or again providing ideas to entertain you during these times. We appreciate, and I appreciate personally, you listening to this appeal. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.